Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to another question and answer session for MRCS exam. Here, this is the question. What vessels is the origin of the middle rectal artery? So it is one of the short question and direct question that in this question they want to know the middle rectal artery. It arises from which of the following structure? Here, the options are aorta, inferior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, internal iliac artery, and internal pudendal artery. So we have to find out one of the artery from which the middle rectal artery arises. And middle rectal artery, it supplies the rectum, and it is known to us that the rectum is supplied by the superior rectal artery, middle rectal artery, and inferior rectal artery. So first of all, let's see the rectum in this picture. In this picture, we can see this is the rectum. Here, this is the rectum after the sigmoid colon, and this rectum is supplied by, here we can see this artery, and this artery. That means the three artery. So the rectum is supplied by this artery, which is the superior rectal artery. Then we can see from this artery, which is the middle rectal artery. And here we can see this is another one, which is the inferior rectal artery. So the rectum, it is supplied by superior rectal artery, middle rectal artery, and inferior rectal artery. The superior rectal artery, it arises from this vessel, which is the inferior mesenteric artery or IMA artery. That means IMA, inferior mesenteric artery. So the superior rectal artery, it arises from the inferior mesenteric artery, and this inferior mesenteric artery arises from abdominal aorta. Then the second branch, the second part is supplied by the middle rectal artery, and this middle rectal artery, we can see it arises from here, and it is the internal iliac artery. So middle rectal artery, it arises from the internal iliac artery. And the last one, which is the inferior rectal artery, this inferior rectal artery, it arises from the internal pudendal artery, and this internal pudendal artery is a branch of the internal iliac artery. So this picture, this is another picture, and very clear that here this is the superior rectal artery. The superior rectal artery, it arises from inferior mesenteric artery. Then second one, here this is the middle rectal artery, and this middle rectal artery, it arises from the internal iliac artery. And finally, last of all, which is the inferior rectal artery, and this inferior rectal artery arises from this artery, which is the pudendal artery, and this pudendal artery, it all arises from the internal iliac artery. So it is now clear the artery supply of the internal iliac artery supply of the rectum. First of all, here this is the superior rectal artery. It arises from the inferior mesenteric artery. Then middle rectal artery arises from internal iliac artery, and inferior rectal artery arises from the pudendal artery, and this pudendal artery is branched from the internal iliac artery. So it is now clear that the middle rectal artery, it arises from the internal iliac artery. So it is the answer. Thank you all.